Hello and welcome to another episode. My name is Ankur and this is Ankur Chips, where I just chip in on different things. I had only one day to spend in Nagoya and I started it by going to the Ghibli Park, but things didn't go as planned. What I did not realize is that Ghibli Park actually requires a pre-booking, so you have to kind of book tickets online before you come into the venue. There are no tickets available at the venue, so if you ever plan to go to Ghibli Park, keep that in mind. Book your tickets way in advance and then you might be able to visit. Sometimes there are extra tickets which did not get sold, but unfortunately I was there on a weekend and there just weren't any tickets available. I kind of traveled quite far. It's almost in the outskirts of Nagoya, I would say. Although Ghibli Park is actually inside a larger park, which is a commemorative park. There was some sort of an expo, I think, in the year 2005. The whole park was made for that, I believe. And Ghibli Park was recently launched, I think, maybe a year or two ago. So you can visit the other sections of the park, which I did, and it was very serene and beautiful, but I wasn't able to go into any of the Ghibli sections which I had wanted to. But I did find an ice skating rink there, and I haven't ice skated in a long time. I had been wanting to go ice skating again. Now I'm just a beginner. I finally went there, and it was nice. Kind of different from rollerblading because the ice is like melting as you are traveling, unlike normal rollerblading where the ground is at least stable. The ice melting kind of makes it a little difficult to adjust to, but I was able to figure it out and it took me around like 20-30 minutes to get used to it, and then I was fine and I was having a good time. So from there, I went to the Nagoya Port Public Aquarium. I wanted to go to an aquarium because I have always found it fascinating when they show these aquariums in anime, where you have these giant viewing places where you can see all kind of fish and everything. I got to see like dolphins and I believe it was a killer whale. They were referring to it in Japanese as Shachi. I got to view the live training of Shachi. It was giving me a vibe of like a cute kawaii anime mascot. It's really amazing how they've managed to train this beast to do all these tricks and poses and everything. It was quite interesting. And there were other things to see as well, like really cute jellyfish, where they had this interesting light play going on, and jellyfish looked so beautiful in these different changing lights. So, next up, I went to the City Science Museum. It was also quite interesting. If you're a fan of science, you can definitely visit there, although I think it is aimed more towards kids, but it's definitely fun to kind of explore and play around with these different equipments. They have these little buttons that you can press and you can see cool effects or cool scientific phenomenon being displayed for you. One thing I was really impressed about is the level of maintenance that you find around here, because in my home country of India, in places like a science museum, sometimes, the equipment is not working as intended. There are things missing. Some things have been stolen. I have seen quite a bit of stuff like this. Over here, there is so much trust on the public, I feel. Like some of the equipment was actually loose. If you wanted, you could just pick it up, take it home. But nobody does that here, and it's really surprising how safe and well behaved this country is. That was my takeaway from the City Science Museum. So after this, I had plans to meet up with someone who I know online. Her name is Nana-san. Nana-san is actually someone who I got to know through a Japanese learning community called Nihongo Dekta, which is run by Sayaka-san. I was given free tickets to come here by Sayaka-san. So in this community, there was this challenge where you have to do your own practice of Japanese, and then there were points being distributed. And at the end of 6 months, my name was on the top of the leaderboard, and I was gifted to and fro airplane tickets from Mumbai to Japan. So through this community, I was in touch with some Japanese people, and one of them is Nana-san, who interestingly is also running her own Japanese learning channel on Instagram called nihongo.nana. Do check both, and I assure you, you'll be in great hands in your learning journey. The unfortunate thing is that I wanted to meet with Sayaka-san for obvious reasons, but our dates kind of clashed with each other. She had to fly out to the US, but yeah, I do hope to meet with her someday, hopefully soon. I met up with Nana-san at the Nagoya station. We went to Ichiran Ramen and we had some really tasty ramen. I wanted to have ramen and I hadn't had it up to this point, so we decided to go there and it was really amazing. An interesting thing was that you could actually do all of your ordering and you could communicate with the store runners without using your voice. They had these pen, paper, and the common stuff that you would ask of the store runners just ready for you. So you can press a bell and you can pass on your instruction or whatever you want in written or visual form, and you don't need to verbally communicate with them if you don't want to. One of those template messages was, hey, the other table is being too noisy, stuff like that. So yeah, they've really thought this through, and it's interesting to know that was available. It was really great meeting with Nana-san after having chatted with her for a while on Instagram and on video calls. It was really fun to meet each other in person and speak in my broken Japanese and like struggle through it. We had some fun conversations about our countries, about food, about what I've been doing, our plans of travel, etc. Then I said bye bye to Nana-san and then I was alone again for the evening and I was wondering what I should do, and I decided to go to karaoke. Karaoke is actually called karaoke in Japanese. Kara meaning empty and oke being short for orchestra. So literally it means empty orchestra, which basically describes the music that you hear when you are performing karaoke. Only instruments, no vocals. So I went to karaoke and I sang to my heart's content. I began with all of the anime songs that I really love. I had a blast. If you know anything about me, I really love singing and dancing, even though I'm kind of bad at it. But when I'm singing and dancing, I kind of just go all out. So I did that and it was amazing. I had like the best time. I was going to stay there for 1 hour, but I was having so much fun that I ended up extending it for another hour. It was so much fun, even though I went by myself, which is actually very acceptable over here in Japan. Usually in India, I've never seen anyone going for karaoke alone, but over here you get this separate room to yourself, so you don't have anyone judging you. You can just go kind of crazy in that room. It's easy to order stuff on the phone. You just pick up the phone and it connects to the reception and they know which room you're calling from. So you just place your order and you're done. It's really convenient, the same as everything else in this country. I think I'm gonna have a tough time adjusting back to the Indian routine where things are not as convenient as this. Overall, I had the best night ever. I just wanted to keep going and keep singing, but of course, I'm working with a budget here. After that, I had to come back to the hotel. I had to keep things ready for the next day when I would come to Osaka. And about Osaka, I will record in the next video. So check that out. Until then, this is Ankur checking out.